Today we started from page number 88, lesson number 5, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So in this lesson, we started with Charlie and his family. That Charlie Bucket was a young boy who lived with his family. There were 6 grown-up members in a small wooden house on the edge of a great town. And the house was not nearly large enough for so many people, and life was extremely uncomfortable for them. Mr. Bucket, who was the father of Charlie, was an ordinary person, and he was the only person who was earning member of his family. He was doing the job in toothpaste factory, where he would just sat all the day and just chewed the little caps on the tops of the tubes of the toothpaste. And then the toothpaste caps growers never paid much. Absolutely, that's why they would not have enough resources. And what about their meals? That they only could afford the meal. Bread and margarine, the breakfast, boiled potatoes, and cabbage for the lunch, and the cabbage soup for the supper meal, the dinner, right? And the one thing that Charlie loved for more than anything was the chocolate. Even worse, in the town where Charlie lived, there was an enormous, very big chocolate factory. In fact, it was the largest and most famous in the world. One day, it so happened that Willy Wonka, who was the owner of the factory, he announced that he would invite 5 lucky children who will find the golden tickets hidden underneath wrapping of his chocolate bars to visit his factory. They're going to visit his factory. Not only that, but they would all receive the gift of sweets and chocolates to last a lifetime. Well, of the 5 children who won, Augustus Gloop and Charlie was another. 2 of them were Charlie and Augustus Gloop. Inside the chocolate factory, the chocolate room, an important room, described Mr. Wonka, taking a bunch of keys from his pocket and slipping one into the keyhole of the door. This is the nerve center of the whole factory, the heart of the whole business. Mr. Wonka opened the door, 5 children and 9 grown-ups pushed their ways in, and oh, what an amazing sight it was, and that now met their eyes. They were looking down upon a lovely valley. There were green meadows on either side of the valley, and along the bottom of it there flowed a great brown river. What is more, there was a tremendous waterfall halfway along the river, a steep cliff over which the water curled and rolled in a solid sheet and then went crashing down into a boiling, churning whirlpool of froth and spray. Below the waterfall, and this was the most astonishing sight of all, a whole mass of enormous glass pipes were dangling down into the river. So this is how the chocolate factory looks from inside, somewhere high up in the ceiling. There really were enormous those pipes. There must have been a dozen of them at least, and they were sucking up the brownish, muddy water from the river and carrying it away to goodness knows where. Graceful trees and bushes were growing along the river bank. In the meadows, there were thousands of buttercups. There cried Mr. Wonka, dancing up and down and pointing his gold-topped cane at the great brown river. It's all chocolate. Every drop of that river is hot melted chocolate of the finest quality. The water is most important. The waterfall is the most important. Mr. Wonka went on. It mixes the chocolate. It churns it up. It pounds it and beats it. It makes it high and frothy, light and frothy, and no other factory in the world mixes its chocolate by the waterfall. I do not like my meadows Do you like my grass and buttercups? The grass you are standing on, my dear little ones, is made of a new kind of soft, minty sugar that I've just invented. I call it Swatch. Try a blade, please do. And then there's a Augustus Gloop's accident. Automatically, everybody bent down and picked one blade of grass, a ribbon that is except Augustus Gloop, who took a big handful of chocolate from the river. When Mr. Wonka turned around and saw that Augustus Gloop was doing it, he cried out, "Oh no, please, Augustus, please. I beg you not to do that. My chocolate must be untouched by human hands." Augustus called out, "Mr. Gloop, didn't you hear what that man said? Come away from the river at once. This stuff is fabulous," said Augustus, taking not the slightest notice of his mother or Mr. Wonka. "Gosh, I need a bucket to drink it properly." "Augustus," cried Mr. Wonka, hopping up and down, waggling his stick in the air. "You must come away. You're dirtying my chocolate." Then Augustus cried, "Mr. Glue," Augustus cried, "Mr. Glue," but Augustus was deaf to everything except the call of his enormous stomach. He was now lying full length on the ground with his head far out over the river, lapping up the chocolate like a dog. Augustus shouted, "Mr. Glue, Mrs. Glue, you'll be giving that nasty cold of yours to about 1 million people all over the country. Be careful," Augustus shouted, "Mr. Glue. You're leaning too far out." Mr. Glue was absolutely right. All suddenly there was a shriek and then a splash, and into the river went Augustus Gloop, and in 1 second he had disappeared into the brown surface. So this is what the story is, Chocolate and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Here we have seen the story. So about the question answer, we will write in the next class. Take care of yourself and